Okay, so I just started recording. Sorry to all those that you just listened to me talk. Um, if anybody has any questions about this, Emily's keeping this in the notes. The notes do go live to the website via the Google link, but I went over our equipment, what we've got going on, as far as what we have access to, what's been purchased, what's on the way for us. I went over the dock updates. I went over our weekly schedule of practices, and I talked a little bit about the competition opportunities this fall. We have the virtual hooch, and then there is probably going to be an on-water regatta in October that I can help some of you that are more proficient in the singles get to. So from there, I'm gonna see if Omar's not on the call right now. He's our treasurer, but see if either Emily as vice president or Virginia as president have any executive notes to share with everybody.
Sorry, can't really think of anything right now. The only thing I would have a question about to you, coach, to like relay to everybody would be if you may have mentioned it, you may not have, but the blue and gold regatta, is that something to look forward to?
So traditionally we've held the blue and gold regatta, which has been a great opportunity for new members to get a first row, for alumni to come back and hop in boats with us, and for other community members to do a time trial piece on the river. Between all the what ifs, we don't know yet, wait and sees and such, right now what we've got is still a date penciled in the end of September. We have often looked to do that on homecoming weekend, but homecoming went to late October, and then we don't know if it's going to happen. We don't know when the football game are even going to occur this semester, blah, blah, blah. So where we're at right now with blue and gold planning is a date is penciled in on the calendar, and I have a short list of people in the community who are interested in helping organize something if we choose to do it. And when I say a something, I basically look at the components of the blue and gold regatta. Normally we share a lunch, we invite all these people to get in team boats with us, etc. Do some parent learn to row. So I think that this is something that you guys as a club need to discuss what you would like to do the most. But I think with COVID being something we want to remain cognizant of, and just doing something that's safe and permissible, and then what our options are, I think that might be more of like what do I want to call it? Like a parents visit the boathouse kind of day thing. A little more free flowing itinerary, where basically we give people a time window, and you can come down and we'll still have an on-water course. My suggestion would maybe be do around McClellan Island, so that your start and finish line are the same place, and it's the fastest time you can row around McClellan, right? So this would be in all singles. We'd still be able to extend an invitation to members from Lookout, and we could have like a recreational class where it's oar boards and maybe like the coastal rowing shells. We'll have to see how well they compare, but maybe those are like one class for like basically a novice class. And then you have racing shells as a different class. And, the members out of Lookout who know how to scull would be able to come participate. And then if we had family and friends, we could try to coordinate some waves of them coming through. This is getting a little long-winded. I guess one of the reasons it wasn't high on my agenda right now is I was going to suggest that we postpone it into October, because we won't have head races anyway, and that'll give us more time for you guys to get more proficient and back into the swing of things, and it'll give us a little more time to plan on how we want to run that. But with the void of these fall regattas, everybody has weekends now in October that we normally wouldn't expect to be free. So yeah, thanks for remembering that, Virginia. The blue and gold regatta, in the way we knew it and the way it's been done for a long time, it's going to have to change. But I think that we're probably looking into mid-October as far as actually hosting that.
Okay, well, that'll be something to look forward to. I think the only other thing that I could think of is we have some awesome fundraisers planned for this semester, and then leading into next semester as well. We've got like an ergathon planned where we're going to set up the ergs on campus and get sponsored for however many meters we can row. That'll be an awesome way to advertise, market, but also be like COVID friendly at the same time. And then we've got some more ideas like that to look forward to. But that's all for me.
Right on, right on. Anything to add to that, Emily?
Not that I can think of right now. I was going to mention the fundraisers, but unless there's anything else to add, I don't know if there is.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, our treasurer Omar's in class. So to our captains, Brandon and China, anything from you guys' perspectives? Yeah, unmute yourself there, China.
I'm really looking forward to this season. It's definitely going to look different than anything I've ever done, and probably y'all as well. But I still think we definitely have a lot of things to look forward to. And for all the new people, I'm looking forward to meeting you. Me and Ryan and Brandon are going to be talking soon about some apparel updates. So we're looking forward to that for sure.
Yep.
Why are you laughing?
Oh, just looking forward for that for sure. Yeah. So apparel and branding. Yeah, it's good. You know, the team store right now is basically just what I threw in there. No one else in the club has ever taken any of your own personal interest in it. So I'm glad that you guys are getting on that a little bit. And these are good. It's, you know, to tag on to the fundraising thing, all of these items, they're good for you guys to have, but then you can get your parents to buy a shirt for $15 and that gives the club 10. So how about you, Brandon?
I really can't think of anything, but it'll be good for us to get back on the water, get back in the boats, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the big key. So for Nick, just keep watching the group me. We'll get some stuff in there. All the clubs were basically asked to not do anything until September 1st anyway. And then some of those restrictions were lifted as other programming started happening, but we basically just decided to stick with that original timeline because we've got a lot of kind of unique moving pieces. But one of those very immediate one, guys, is the equipment that's on the trailer right now. It's all team boats that are still on the trailer. So what I think I'm going to do with it is go ahead and just leave all the boats on until we get Macaulay sorted out. I didn't actually even know this until tonight, is that this is the way I was probably going to want to play it. But just leave them there. They're out of the way. They're safe. And then after a few weeks, once we have a good idea on when the new dock is coming in and what's going on with the barges, then we can coordinate getting that stuff put back inside. That stuff's been on there for 5.5 months, maybe half a year. Well, actually, that stuff, we got it. Some of those boats were in Florida in November after the coastal event. So some of those boats have been living on the trailers since last November. Anyway, there's that piece, but yeah. Anybody else have any questions from the floor or things that I'm just totally spacing out on right now? Well, if anything does come up, GroupMe is a good open forum for that. We do have 2 different GroupMes running right now. One is the general club GroupMe that everyone ends up in once they're actually in the club. And then we've got the interest GroupMe, which I've been trying to share that link a little bit too, so that new people can join it. That's the link that's on the Instagram page and other places. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that link back in the club GroupMe, but share this link if someone has any interest, and that way they can see the next practice where new people are going to be able to come out. We are definitely going to have some changes with the swim assessment protocol. Basically with the singles, we're just going to make it a rule that if you're on a single, you have to have a PFD with you, and unless you've passed the swim assessment, you have to have it on. And that's going to be an easy safety measure. It's kind of silly at the end of the day that every other personal human powered watercraft is required to wear the PFD anytime they're doing UTC programming. And then the rowers are just told, just have one in the launch. So we're definitely going to make sure we got to all do this. Cause even on Sunday, when I took that single out, a old habit, I didn't take a PFD with me at all. So we've got to make sure that anytime we leave the dock in a boat, we've got a PFD with us. And we won't schedule a swim assessment till farther into the semester for any new members, because they'll be able to come out and participate just with a PFD on, no problem. So there was that one little piece. But anyhow, if there's no other questions, or who's that? Come at it, China.
Do we do a swim assessment every year? I think you've said this before, but I can't remember.
Yeah, no, we haven't ever required that. There's definitely been members who have tested every year just to do it during the window. If you're not in a pool or in the water regularly, it's not a bad thing to do anyway. Just a reminder on the requirements of that. You're going to do 100 meters freestyle swimming, which means doggy paddle, butterfly, whatever stroke you got. And then you'll do 10 minutes of treading water without touching anything. And then you'll put on a PFD while you're in the water. And you're basically just getting assessed on how capable you are of handling yourself without dying during that process. If you would die without help, you're a 0. And that's on the scale of 0 to 5, which means non-swimmer, and you have to wear a life jacket all the time. If you're anything a 1 or up, it's kind of to choice. But we really have that scale more just, it's not necessarily just know us wear PFD. It's more for the coaches and coxswains and team leaders to know who to be looking for if an emergency scenario does arise. And when I say looking for, I do literally mean counting heads and making sure everybody's gotten their head above water. So, yeah. Rock on. Well, thanks for being on the call tonight, guys. We will look forward to seeing. Like I said, I think we can go ahead and plan on Thursday morning practice. So we'll get the re-registration, some of this other paperwork wrapped up, and it'll be very limited numbers of available equipment until more stuff comes in. So when I say Thursday morning practice, I guess what I'm probably going to do initially is I'm going to be trying to work with Chattanooga Rowing to get some access to a couple more boats. That's also where my coastal is right now. So for any of you guys that aren't comfortable in a racing show yet, it's all at the rowing center anyway. So we'll post some kind of a sign up to see if we can get a few people out on the water this week on this Wednesday night, and then probably Thursday morning time slots. But for the most part, it'll be next week. After Labor Day, we'll get things really rolling. And sometime in the next week or two, our oar board should arrive. So that'll mean 6 extra seats. So until then, it'll be, we won't, I guess what I mean to say is until that week after Labor Day, we won't have a normal practice week anyway. You guys will have Monday, but we probably won't have the oar boards. So until we get the oar boards and we actually have all of the seats for the club, then we can worry about, how far does 9 seats go across the practice, how to coordinate, move from there. So that was just the one other thing, is that inside our normal practice windows, we're probably going to have to create like half and halves, like a group on the water for an hour, a group on land for an hour, or 2 shifts. Still super productive. So yeah. Rock on.
I got a question, Coach.
Yes, sir.
So the part about not dying in a single, is there a way we could have a controlled flip so we know how the procedure of getting it back, like in a big swimming pool or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll probably just do it on the river. Could do it in the pool, actually. We're going to want to do that with the oar boards, because that's going to be kind of new territory for all of us, me included. I have a feeling they're going to be really hard to flip in the first place, but then kind of hard to right if you do manage to flip them. So we're going to do some practice with that. That would be really good to do in the pool. But typically you would pair a swim assessment with a flip test to see if someone is going to be able to scull without a PFD on. So like that's kind of a typical format for that. But Lucas, you're on the right track. Just being knowledgeable about what to do next when things go a certain way. So. Right on. Yeah, sorry I don't have more definitives on some of this, guys. It's just kind of like when our equipment comes in, when this next phase at the barges happens, when we know what's going on with COVID. So some of these are depending, but all of these decisions are going to start rolling pretty quick. All right. Go Mox. You guys be well.
No. I have one last announcement. Coach is getting married this weekend, so congrats to him.
Thank you. Allegedly getting married. We'll see. No, I'm kidding. It's on. Oh, it's on, China. It's on. Face is so nervous. You guys have a great night. We'll see. We'll see y'all later.